Hey everybody, and welcome back to our Bitcoin Basics series. Who the heck is that guy? I hope you like my new studio. I made it just for you guys. If you've been following along with my Bitcoin Basics series, you've already learned what Bitcoin is, how to buy your first Bitcoin, how to set up your first software or hot wallet, what to use as your very first Lightning wallet, and why hardware wallets are so critically important for securing your digital assets. What an incredible journey we've been on together. Today, we're taking a crucial step in your Bitcoin security journey, setting up your first hardware wallet. In this video guide, I'm going to be working with a brand new, never been used Trezor Safe5. But the principles we're going to cover apply to most other hardware wallets on the market, with different nuances between wallets, of course. If you're brand new to Bitcoin or just joining us, a hardware wallet is a physical device that keeps your Bitcoin private keys, which is the master password to your Bitcoin, offline and secure. Think of it like a small specialized safe for your digital assets. By completing this setup, you'll be joining the ranks of Bitcoin users who truly control their own financial future, which is the explicit goal of this channel. I'm excited to dig into the Trezor Safe5 for the first time, so let's get started. Before we jump into the setup of the hardware wallet, let's go over how to purchase a hardware wallet safely. You should always buy your hardware wallet from a reputable source. For the Trezor Safe5, please support the channel and use the affiliate link below. There's other affiliate links for other hardware wallets below as well, so you can check them out. You should buy from the manufacturer's website. I have purchased hardware wallets from Amazon and have never had a problem. But generally, you should avoid third-party marketplaces and never buy a used or pre-owned hardware wallet unless it's from someone you explicitly trust. When your hardware wallet arrives, make sure the packaging is sealed properly with no signs of tampering. And for Trezor Safe5 devices, among others, you can verify authenticity through their software. Now that you've got your very first hardware wallet in hand, let's see what was in the box. I already unboxed it. It was not exciting. So I'm just going to show you what was in it. Let's take a look. Okay, I've got the contents of the package here, and it's not too exciting. It's a USB-C to USB-C cable. I'm going to plug that into my computer right now while I'm thinking about it. And the Trezor Safe5, which is right here. Nothing too fancy about it. This is a color touchscreen, which is a really neat improvement over the Safe 3, which I also have. And as you can see, it came with some special tamper evident tape on here, which I'm going to remove because that is where the USB-C cable connects. So let's go ahead and remove this tamper evident tape, and it leaves behind a total mess. Okay, I got the glue taken off. And there's a screen cover on here, which I'm going to peel off for dramatic effect. Wow. Very exciting. And a getting started pouch, which has various things in it. A little getting started guide here. We don't need that. Some stickers, which you should never use anywhere. Do not stick these on the back of your computer. With the rash of physical real-world attacks on people that are demonstrating wealth through crypto or flaunting crypto or talking about crypto, do not put these on your computer. Not even a Bitcoin symbol. That'd be my suggestion. A wallet backup piece of paper here has the device name and PIN, and then a list of 20 spaces for 20 words, and then another one, and that's it. And this one is similar, I believe, a space for 20 words, or maybe you could just fill in 12, but you can't fill 24 in, which is interesting. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. This is the device. It's pretty plain. There's the USB-C port on the bottom and an SD card slot on the side. You cannot use this SD card slot to sign transactions from my understanding, but you can use it to update your device, I believe. Okay, I'm not going to be demonstrating the use of the SD card slot in this video. Let's go ahead and start setting this thing up. First of all, the Trezor Safe5 does not have Bluetooth functionality or a built-in battery. So in order to function, the Trezor Safe5 needs to physically plug in and connect to your computer. Now, some of you in the front of the classroom might be asking, wait a minute, I thought it wasn't secure to connect your hardware wallet to an internet-connected device like a computer. That's a fantastic point, and I have a great response. The key here is that your computer serves mainly as a dumb terminal. It displays information and relays your requests, but all of the critical security operations happen inside the EAL6 Plus certified secure element chip inside the hardware wallet itself. This architecture means you can safely use the Trezor devices, even on a computer you don't fully trust. I just finished resetting my entire computer. I erased the hard drive, reinstalled the operating system, which I should do twice a year, but I do it about once a year. So I know my computer is malware free. So the first step is to connect your Trezor device to your computer so that it powers up. Okay, I have the cable. I'm going to power the device on. It says, get started with your Trezor at trezor.io/start. Let's head there and check it out. Okay, here we are at trezor.io/start. And it says you can download the application to interact with the Trezor. It's called Trezor Suite. And you can do that safely from this website. If you don't have a Trezor, you can order one, or you can use a link in the description. Or you can continue in the browser and use a web-based version of this software. I prefer the locally running version on my Mac, so I downloaded it and installed it, and I'm going to launch that right now. But real quick, while we're here, let's take a look around. There's some short instructions up here. Download the Trezor Suite, install the app, set up your Trezor, move your coins. I wish it was that easy. If you prefer expert guidance, other than mine, you can pay $99, and you can do that by sending Bitcoin to the link in the description if you prefer, and pay for an expert to help you walk you through the setup of the device, which we're going to do today for free. And that's it on this page. Let's go ahead and look at the Trezor Safe5 page. Incidentally, it retails for $169 US. It comes in black, purple, or green. I got the purple one, as you can see in this image right here. It's very hard to see. What else do we know about the device? Secure and easy. It actually has a vibration mechanism inside to help confirm physical interaction with the device. Very cool. Can't wait to feel that. Has scratch-free Gorilla Glass. The software on the device is open source and available for review on GitHub. And that is about it. There's some more information here. Manage your crypto in its Trezor Suite. All right, that's about it. And, oh, I'm sorry, it does support thousands of different coins. And today we're going to focus on Bitcoin, but it does offer support for, I think, over 5,000 different coins. And here's some more detailed information on the security architecture of the device. And that is it. You can check this out on your own time. All right, let's head over to Trezor Suite and see if we can set up this device. Okay, here we are at the welcome screen for the Trezor Suite application on my Mac, and nothing has happened on the device yet. And I have two options. I have doubts or set up my Trezor. It says it takes 15 minutes, and I'm going to click on set up my Trezor. And first thing it does is it checks the firmware on the device. And so the device is not up to date, so we're going to install firmware. Actually, I believe it ships with no firmware on it at all. So we're going to install some firmware, and this will take a minute. I'll be right back. All right, done. As you can see, the Trezor Safe5 is restarting, and it gives me a little warning here. Allow the accessory to connect, and let's see what's happening. Ooh, Trezor Safe5 is unlocked, it says, and it is ready to go. I'm going to press the continue button on the screen here. Let's check your device. This is going to check the firmware, make sure it's authentic, and make sure the device is authentic as well. So we're going to press start, confirm on the device. It says tap to continue, tap to confirm. And it looks like we are good. The Trezor Safe5 is safe and ready to go. I'm going to skip the tutorial because I'm giving a tutorial, but you can go through this tutorial if you prefer. Tutorial canceled. Continue. Now, we have two options. One, create new wallet. Two, recover wallet. If you have an other hardware wallet and you want to transfer the wallet to this device, you would simply enter your seed phrase here and press recover wallet first, and then enter your seed phrase, and boom, all of your crypto would show up on this device, at least the ones that are supported. We're not going to be doing that today. We're going to be creating a new wallet from scratch because this is your first hardware wallet. So we have created a new wallet. Now we have a lot of different options for the backup type. The default option is a single share backup. And this is really unique to Trezor. They use a system called Shamir Backup, which allows you to split the passphrase, or actually it's not the passphrase, the seed phrase, which is a string of 12 to 24 words that seem random, but they're off a very special list. They control access to your Bitcoin. Now, that is the more traditional way to set up a wallet, and it doesn't even really give you the choice without clicking down here in the corner. It says legacy wallet backup types. I don't think I would call this a legacy backup type. This should be the standard for, as far as I'm concerned, because it's more portable. That is, you can use this collection of words to restore your wallet on multiple devices across systems and platforms. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to this a little later, the Shamir backup, but right now I'm going to create a 12-word legacy backup. And you'd have another option for 24, of course. All right, this can't be directly upgraded to the multi-share backup. And to allow for seamless upgrades, use the default single share backup. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to create the wallet. And now we have some information on the screen here. It says on the computer, Trezor will create your wallet based on the selected wallet type. Confirm on your Trezor. By continuing, you agree to Trezor's company terms and conditions, blah, blah, blah. Hold to confirm. I'm going to hold right in the center. Done. Tap to continue. The wallet has been created inside the secure element chip, and we're going to be given a list of 12 words, what's called our seed phrase. Backup needed. Okay, the wallet has been created successfully. Continue to backup. Backup consists of a list of words generated by your Trezor. Write it down and keep it securely. We're going to check these things, saying we understand we cannot lose this list of 12 words. So create wallet backup. And it says here, your wallet backup contains 12 words in a specific order. Tap to continue. Never put your backup anywhere digital. Write down the 12 words in order on your wallet backup card. There's the first word. I'm going to go ahead and record these 12 words, and I will be right back. Okay, I've recorded the 12 words on a piece of paper, and I need to hold to confirm that I've done so. And now we're going to do a quick check of my backup to make sure I've got them in the right order. Tap to continue. Select word 1 of 12. Word 1 of 12 is galaxy. Select word 8 of 12, and that is perfect. And then 10 of 12 is faint. Okay, checking 3 words in their order or in their position in the seed phrase is good, but I prefer an entire seed phrase check. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Wallet backup completed. Tap to continue. Continue to create a PIN. We're going to set up a PIN. Confirm on the Trezor. Turn on PIN protection. Yes. Enter new PIN. We're going to use 615274. Check. And then we're going to enter that again. 615274. I'm going to write that down too. And we're done. PIN protection turned on. Trezor Safe5 is unlocked because the PIN was entered. Now we need to pick which coins we're going to activate for the device. Now here's a neat point where I can tell you that there's firmware available through the Trezor Suite application, which we're working on right now, that limits the function of your Trezor device to Bitcoin only. I have that installed on my Trezor Safe5. I'm likely going to install it on this one as well because I don't have many coins other than Bitcoin. But if you want to mess around with a million different coins, the options are here to select what coins you wish to work with. They work with a lot of different blockchains. We've got Ethereum, we've got Polygon, Solana, which is very popular. Base is a low-fee Ethereum-based chain, Cardano, Dogecoin, etc. I'm going to leave it on Bitcoin only. This is not Bitcoin only firmware, but I'm just going to activate Bitcoin only. Complete my setup and go to this suite. And we're done. This is the Trezor Suite home page, so to speak. There is $0 in the wallet, of course, because it's brand new. If we want to receive some Bitcoin, we're going to press this button. We're not going to do that right this second. Let's go through the menus of the software and see what this is all about. So we've got the dashboard here. Let's see what this is. It just says standard wallet. We can add a passphrase to increase the security of this wallet, which creates a whole new wallet. So you need to do that right now if you're ever going to enter a passphrase before you move Bitcoin to it, okay? So you have your 12-word seed phrase. You can add a passphrase onto it to secure that seed phrase wallet even more, okay? I'm not going to do that for today. I'm going to close this. We're going to look on no activity in the wallet, of course, and then we have settings right here beneath that. In the settings area, we have 3 different areas: application, device, and coins. Let's go through each of them. The application, fiat currency is USD, Bitcoin units are Bitcoin. We can turn on labeling. We can rename the wallet. I generally do that. The color scheme, we can do light or dark. For the video, I did light, but generally I use dark. You can allow them to collect data on you anonymously. I would not do that. And I'll show the log of the application, etc., and automatic updates for the Trezor Suite. You can create a view-only wallet so that if you launch this software without the Trezor connected, you can see what's in the wallet. There might be some security concerns with that, so I might not do that. And some experimental program. For the device menu, we've got a wallet backup. We're going to check that in a minute. We've got the default wallet is a standard wallet or a passphrase wallet. If you have a passphrase, you would select passphrase wallet. And firmware, we can update our firmware. We're at the latest version. We can switch to Bitcoin only right here. We have a PIN activated. We can change our PIN, etc. We can check the authenticity of the device. And we can change the name. We can change the home screen. I'm going to select this one right here. And look, it says tap to continue, tap to confirm. Now we have a different home screen. That's pretty cool. What are other options? Not too many. I like that one. Okay. We can rotate the display, change the brightness. How do we adjust this? Oh, much brighter. Not really, but I increased the brightness. It has haptic feedback, auto lock in 10 minutes. I'm going to change that to an hour for the demo. Tap to continue. Also, when you unplug the device, of course, it shuts off immediately. This is where you can wipe the device. You can set up a code, like a PIN, where you enter the PIN and it wipes the device, which is really neat. If someone comes into your apartment or house and says, unlock your Trezor, I want all your Bitcoin or crypto, you enter the wipe device, it's clean, gone. Everything's gone. They can't get to it. That's right here. You can install custom firmware, turn off the device check, etc. And then here's where you can add coins after the fact. And again, for Bitcoin only firmware, you can install that from here as well. Super easy. Just follow the instructions, click, 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 and you're done. All right. Now, where was I? I wanted to go back to the device and do a wallet backup check before we send any crypto to this wallet. I'm going to press check. I understand this is a simulated check. I'm going to start. Now, here's where I take the list of words. I enter them into the device. I'm going to check my backup, tap to continue, enter my PIN, which I wrote down, 615274. Select the number of words in my backup, which is 12. enter each word of your wallet backup in order. It's super important that you write the words down in order, and that when you re-enter them, you enter them in that specific order. Different order with the same words is a different wallet. Then we start with word 1, which is Galaxy. So I'm going to show you how to do this. You press G, A, and I'm going to press this third letter 3 times, like the old texting method. 1, 2, 3, G-A-L-A. And then the word is up here. I'm assuming if I touch the word, yes, it will select it. Word 1 is done. I'm going to enter the rest of the 12 words just to confirm my seed phrase, and you should do the same on yours. Okay, the words have been entered on the device. It says the entered wallet backup is valid. So I recorded them properly and in the right order, and matches the one in this device. Tap to continue. And we are good. Wallet backup checked successfully. Super important you do that before you send any Bitcoin to this wallet. Now, let's go ahead and perform a demo transaction by sending Bitcoin to this wallet. To do that, we need an address to send it to, right? So we go to the Bitcoin account right here and click on one of the 2 buttons in the corner, receive or send. Of course, we want to receive, so I'm going to click receive. You can also do it down here. Receive Bitcoin or buy Bitcoin. They do have a way to purchase Bitcoin through the application. I'm not going to go through that today. Receive Bitcoin. You can show the full address, but it's going to ask you to confirm it on the device most likely. And yes, there we go. So on the device, if you look carefully, it says BC1Q, which is a native SegWit address, and then 2XKH6J. Let's make sure those are accurate. And looks like it matches. Got to make sure that it matches the software. Hardware matches the software. Then I'll tap to continue, tap to confirm. Receive address confirmed. Now it gives me the option to copy the address. There we go. And close the window. So now that this address is copied, I'm going to go to an exchange and send some small amount of Bitcoin to this address. Okay, I just finished the transaction over on an exchange, and I'm going to check the dashboard to see if anything is recognized yet. Yes, there we go. Just as we are watching. That is pretty cool. Now we have some Bitcoin in the wallet, $25.04. I've already made 4 cents out of the deal, which is pretty cool. And price of Bitcoin is doing well. And let's go ahead and click on this transaction. Here's the overview of our Bitcoin account. That is this account down here. And we have $25.04 in the account. And we have 1 transaction in our transaction list. It's still pending, of course. I just sent it. And now it's $25.05. Man, we are rocking. Once this confirms, I'll be right back, and I'll show you how to send Bitcoin out using the Trezor Safe5 and the Trezor Suite. Actually, while we're waiting, I'm going to show you something interesting. If you want to watch the transaction be confirmed or check its status, whether it's confirmed or not, you can click this white bar down at the bottom. It brings up a little window, and this is the transaction ID. Right here is the transaction ID. It says it's not confirmed, but where is it in the blockchain? Is it close to being confirmed, or is it going to be hours? We can check that. So we're going to copy this number right here, pressing this little tiny button. Then we're going to go to mempool.space and enter that number and follow the transaction. Here we are at mempool.space. This is the Bitcoin blockchain. These are blocks full of transactions that have been confirmed, and they go on for a long while. And these are blocks of transactions that have yet to be confirmed, but we don't know where ours is. So we're going to enter that long number in here, press enter, and it is at the head of the line because the exchange that I sent it from used a fairly high fee, I think, in order to send it. Yeah, for the moment, that's high. That's pretty cheap generally. So it's going to be confirmed hopefully momentarily, but it is in the first block and we are ready to go. So that's how you check it. Let's go back to the Trezor Suite. Once this confirms, I'll come back here and I'll show you how to send it out. That wasn't too bad. It was just a couple minutes. We're back. and the transaction has been confirmed one time. It is not final, and I'm not sure it's going to let me send it out. It might, so we're going to try. Okay, in order to send this Bitcoin out of the wallet, we're going to send the Bitcoin back to the exchange where it came from. And in order to do that, we need to press this button up here in the corner. It says send, for obvious reasons. And that's going to create a whole new transaction. First of all, we need an address. I'm going to go grab one from the exchange that I'm going to send this to, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have an address in the clipboard. I'm going to paste that in here. That's the destination address for the Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin do I want to send? Well, I want to send all of it. Fortunately, the Trezor Suite has a really convenient switch to just select, and it fills out the whole transaction for you. Basically, you don't even have to look at any of this stuff. Now, we are going to, of course, we can add a lock time to delay the transaction. We want to broadcast the transaction immediately. If we had multiple deposits in this account, we could select which deposits are going to make up this send or this transaction. And we can add another recipient and split the transaction between different recipients. So that does have some more advanced features. We're going to set the fee. I'm going to set it for high, which is 37 cents. It's pretty good. And then let's click the advanced button and see what that gives us. Setting a low fee might cause your transaction to fail. Okay, this is where you can adjust the fee really so it's dialed in. Let's go head back to mempool.space and see what the fees are right now. Okay, right now the fees at mempool.space are for high priority transaction 3 sats per VByte, but the average transaction is about 2 sats per VByte. So somewhere in there is going to get our transaction hopefully confirmed rather quickly. All right, let's go back to standard, and it says 3 sats per VByte. Let's just go ahead and go with that. I'm going to review and send, and then we're going to look at the device here. They're showing us an address on the device so that we can confirm that that is where we want to send it. So we're going to look at that address, recipient 1, tap to continue, but I don't see the address that we wanted to send it to. So I'm going to close this real quick, and the device goes back to home. I want to make sure 6x3z, CP6x3z0U, review and send, and CP6x3z0U. Perfect. Tap to continue. How much Bitcoin are we sending? Well, we're sending all of it. Oh, there is the address after I confirmed it. Tap to continue. The total amount is that. The fee is that, 333 sats. Tap to continue. And in order to sign the transaction, we have to hold the center button. And that is it. Transaction is signed. And then we have the option to send it. Now, I don't have to send it. It didn't get sent automatically, but I'm going to send it. And now the Bitcoin is being sent out of the wallet, and you can see our balance reflects that. It's 0. That's it. Pretty simple. Easy peasy. And I just got a notice from the exchange that they have received the transaction, and it's pending as noticed right here. Now, during the setup, you might recall that the Trezor hardware wallet provided an advanced security option known as Shamir Backup. It's designed to enhance the protection of your seed phrase, that 12-word string that secures your Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain, basically the keys to your fortune. With the Shamir Backup, instead of having a single seed phrase that gives complete access to your wallet, you have the option to create multiple shares or parts of your seed phrase. Each share or part of your seed phrase consists of 20 words. You can choose to have a single 20-word seed phrase for a little more security than the 12-word seed phrase, or you can have a 3-share seed phrase, that is 3 sets of 20 words, and all 3 of them are a different set of 20 words. This provides significant advantages. If one of your shares or set of 20 words is lost or stolen, your wallet remains safe and accessible with the remaining shares. Individual shares don't leak any information about your wallet as long as the compromised number of shares doesn't reach the required threshold to restore the wallet. Your funds are safe. In other words, if you have 3 shares of 20 words, 2 of those shares are needed to restore the wallet and have access to the funds. That means if you lose one or it gets compromised, your funds are still safe. Whereas if you have one 12-word seed phrase and you lose it or it gets compromised, your funds could be gone. Trezor is so confident with this level of security that they make it the default choice when setting up a new wallet. I myself am a little old school. I prefer the 12 or 24-word seed phrase just for compatibility reasons, because not every wallet can be used to restore those Shamir shares to, if that makes sense. In other words, if you lose your Trezor device and you want to restore your wallet to a Blockstream Jade, you can't use the Shamir shares to do so. You would simply have to get another Trezor wallet. No big deal, really. But the Shamir shares do limit the flexibility of your options. Also, we need to talk a little bit about your seed phrase storage. Once you've written it down during the setup of the wallet, you need to figure out how to store it safely. I'm going to do a complete Bitcoin Basics guide on seed phrase security in the near future. For now, please adhere to the following guidelines. Keep your seed phrase in a secure, private location. Don't put it on a sticky note on your refrigerator. Also, ensure it's protected from fire and water damage. Paper just isn't a great option for that. You might want to consider a metal backup solution for longer-term storage. Never store your seed phrase digitally unless it's encrypted. Generally, you're not supposed to store it in cloud storage or even a password manager. Nowhere digital. If you must store your seed phrase digitally, do so in an offline USB device. And never share your seed phrase with someone. A legitimate person working for a legitimate company will never ask for your seed phrase. And for significant holdings, consider having separate backup copies in different locations. Okay, once your hardware wallet is set up and tested, here's some ongoing best practices. Regularly check for and install firmware updates on the device. Number 2, always verify transaction details on the device before confirming. Number 3, consider adding a passphrase to your account for additional security. And remember, do it first, only during the setup of the wallet, not after you've moved Bitcoin into the wallet. And passphrases can't be used with Shamir shares. Disconnect your device when not in use and store it safely and securely. Also, periodically check to see if your seed phrase backup is intact and readable. And lastly, have a plan for what happens to your Bitcoin if something should happen to you. In other words, really should set up some type of inheritance plan. I have lots of videos on inheritance on my channel, and there's more to come. So don't forget to subscribe. And lastly, even the best hardware wallets can have issues. Here's some quick solutions to common problems. If your computer doesn't recognize the device, try a different USB cable or USB port. Secondly, if you forget your PIN, you're going to need to reset the device with your seed phrase or Shamir shares. Thirdly, if you're unsure about a transaction, it's always better to double check everything than rush through it and try to get it done as quickly as possible. Never send Bitcoin anywhere when you're in a hurry. And last, if your transaction is taking a long time, check mempool.space to check the status of the transaction and watch my recent video on Replace by Fee or RBF. The Trezor Suite does have that functionality. And also, if you have other questions, check Trezor's website. They have a lot of Q&A and troubleshooting tips. In conclusion, congratulations. You've now set up your first hardware wallet and are ready to securely hold your own Bitcoin. This is a significant step towards true financial sovereignty. Remember, the security of your Bitcoin and crypto is an ongoing process, not a one-time setup. Stay informed about best practices, keep your device updated, and never compromise on the protection of your seed phrase. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more Bitcoin Basics videos. If you want to see another video on the Trezor Safe5, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.